What is going on, Nutters? Right, so today's the first full day of Season 13's update, and it's quite a big one. An awful lot has been overhauled. We also have a new legend, which is Jackson, aka Bangalore's brother. I called it. So, Newcastle has some unique abilities and stuff, and he's actually really good. I'm just not a huge fan of him. But I suppose he's definitely got potential. I think it's just that I can't really play defenders. So I think that that's the only reason I'm having issues with him. Other than that, he's brill. Um, there's also been a map update to Stormpoint. There's now a dead carcass, which is the beast that you see in like the cinematic released about a week ago. Other updates to the map are these like robot battles where you can upgrade your loot. Those also got introduced in the same update, well, cinematic. So yeah, keen to see how that goes. I've seen a lot of people already complain that it's going to give the better players an edge, but I don't personally think it's that much of an issue. All the loot you can get from there you can find on the ground anyway, so just loot and try to avoid those areas if it's a concern to you. I personally like it. I've only used it once and I didn't get time to use the full capacity of it because the ring was on us, but definitely pretty cool. Ranked has also had a massive overhaul. You now have a rookie league, so bronze is no longer free to enter. You start off with a cost of 15 for bronze, but the rookie league is like the below bronze, and that's free. So yeah, should be interesting. Just means that some players might be hitting the head off the wall when they're now called a rookie, but let's hope that doesn't happen to me. Fortified perk has been changed. It no longer applies to headshots now, but we also have a buff to helmets, so it offsets that, and you just kind of prioritize getting your fortified guys their helmet beforehand, and it shouldn't be an issue. Crafting has been changed. Both the flatline and longbow has come out of the crafting replicator and gone back to ground loot, and the R301 and Rampage have been put in instead, which if you ask me are definitely the metas from last season. The Rampage, a lot of people were calling for it to be nerfed, and especially with the thermite you can see why, and the R301 is by far the easiest AR to use, particularly at long range, and whilst they don't like hit as much as the flatline, the accuracy bonus it gives probably means you're going through enemies a lot quicker, particularly when you're not at point blank ranges. As well, the stuff that you get in care packages have changed. The Spitfire is back as ground loot, which I'm buzzing about, and it's also now a gold weapon. You can find a fully kitted Spitfire on the ground, and oh boy do I love that thing. I've not been doing great with it, but back in the PS4 days, that was my go-to LMG. But you can no longer put a barrel stabilizer on it, so it's actually a little harder to control the recoil now, but it still absolutely slaps. As well as the Spitfire as a good weapon, we have the Eva 8, the bow, the flatline, and the P2020 that you can all find fully kitted. The Kraber has been nerfed. Headshots are down from 3 times damage to 2, and the damage per shot reduced from 145 to 140. So once you've got your shields, it in theory doesn't one-shot you, but it's still by far the most punishing gun on the game. You're going to go through med supplies even if you manage to survive, but all it's going to take is one stray bullet to ruin your day. The Rampage has been nerfed slightly longer to reload and slightly longer to aim down sights and stuff, but that's to be expected. A lot of people have been calling it overpowered. The L-Star has also received another nerf, so yeah, it's just a bit slower and damage has been nerfed. The Devotion's had a damage reduction, but only by 1 point. The damage multiplier for headshots been reduced as well. So yeah, it's actually quite a few differences made to the Devotion. The Havoc's had a recoil buff. That thing's brill now. Definitely easier to land your shots. And the thing is that erratic recoil, after you had to charge it, really made it difficult to win like quick close quarter fights. So I'm fully behind this. Dual Shell has been vaulted, unfortunately, um, which it definitely weren't overpowered as far as hop ups go. But I don't know, man. I don't know why. I mean, as far as the 30-30 goes, it don't make a difference. I can see why they've done it with the Mastiff, because the Mastiff with that gets you in the fight, but there's still the kinetic feeder for the Peacekeeper, if and triple take. So I don't see why that's in. But yeah, Mozambique and Peacekeeper have increased limb damage, so yeah, considering those have pretty hefty spreads, it's gonna buff it. The Mastiff's gone into care packages, but it's also received a huge nerf. I mean, the blast pattern definitely means that you're going to be hitting for more damage each time, though. They've tightened the blast pattern. And frankly, that thing's so inconsistent with the damage anyway that unless you're going to be missing your shots without that spread, it's not going to make a difference. It's probably actually a buff. The only downside is the ammo capacity has been reduced from 6 to 4, but it's had a damage buff. Pellets have been increased in size, and the fire rate is up by 0.1 per second. So yeah, I'm not gonna complain really. The Mastiff's it's been buffed and nerfed at the same time, so it's gonna feel just a bit like a different weapon. Quite a few changes made to the Spitfire. Damage is down to 18 from 19. Purple and gold magazine capacity reduced. Hip fire spread is increased. As I've said, no barrel attachment. Headshot damage is down. Distance is down. Reload time takes longer. Draw time increased. Holster time increased. Raise time increased. Lower time increase. Basically, it's a bit slower. But since it's no longer care package loot, I can see why they've done it. Shields, cells, and syringes have been lowered, but to be honest, you find them all the time. Rampart has been made much quicker in both her ultimate and amped cover, and the amp cover has actually had a ridiculous health increase from 45 to 120, which, I mean, the thing is, it was shocking. It was useless, but for it to be nearly 3 times more now, oh boy, oh nah. Once they're dug in, they're dug in. You're gonna have to flank around. You're gonna have to bomb it with ordnance, but nah, you ain't winning a head-to-head thinking, oh, I can quickly take down that shield. But let's face it, one shot from a wingman could destroy it. Definitely needed a buff, but now I think it's gonna overkill. But yeah, Valkyrie can no longer freely spin when using their ultimate, and you can't use stuff whilst you're out of bounds anymore, but that's going to be interesting. So yeah, there's now World's Edge, Stormpoint, and Olympus as the map rotation. I'm buzzing that World's Edge has come back. I really am, because at the end of the day, World's Edge is my favourite map, I think. Lots of people complain about it, but I don't mind. The only problem is we've not got Kings Canyon, and I love Kings Canyon. I'd have given my life not to have had Kings Canyon in the rotation. But it don't matter, because for the next week, at the end of the day, we are stuck playing the same map of Stormpoint. Can we not speed it up? I might just sleep this next week away. Quite a few arenas pricing adjustments, so I'm not going to go through them all. You can see that quite easily anyway when you play. Thermites, though, stand out, have gone down from 100 to 75, and that is brill. To be fair, most of them are actually cost reductions, with the exception of the Devotion and L-Star. The Devotion Havoc, the L-Star has actually had a reduction. So yeah, it's actually a lot better for being able to get more stuff. It means you can get more ordnance, which I've been doing, and tons of bug fixes. So yeah, I've not actually seen confirmation either that smart loot's been added in, but I've heard a lot about smart loot being added to the game. I've not personally noticed any difference, so that might be coming in the next patch or whatever. But yeah, season 13 is now live, and yeah, we'll take a full look at Newcastle just now, and then might even get some gameplay. But I don't know. My games haven't gone to plan with Newcastle, so I'll have to see what footage I've got. So Newcastle has a unique passive ability of Retrieve the Wounded. So if you remember the OG Lifeline with her like protective shield, more or less that with the added ability that you can drag enemies whilst reviving them, getting them into cover. But it's not unbreakable like it was with Lifeline. It's actually tied directly to the knockdown shield that you're carrying, which definitely adds a new level of like strategy. Like think about how you give predominantly Lifeline the gold backpack. Usually people say to give Bloodhound the gold helmet and stuff like that. Definitely makes you think about who's getting what loot, and brings a reason to get knockdown shields, because at the minute knockdown shields don't make all that much difference. Has a tactical of a mobile shield. She is very slow moving, but can be repositioned. So it helps if you're pushing up slowly towards an objective. It helps me on Storm Point quite a bit because of the wide open spaces, but it don't cover you from the top as much. So only good. It don't really take into account verticality of fights, but I'm not going to slag it. Definitely will come in handy. But the ultimate, oh boy, the ultimate for Newcastle is such a game changer. You just launch yourself towards a teammate or anywhere you choose. You put up a castle wall. It takes a moment to deploy, but you get some cover instantly. And that thing just, creates a fortified area. You become the mobile cover. And that's the bit that's been turning the tides. Like, I'm not a huge fan of Newcastle, but his ultimate is brill. Even though it doesn't deal any damage, you can hold down a fight. If you get ambushed and you're out in the open, it could save your skin so quickly. It's brill. It's not unbreakable, but it takes an awful lot of damage. And you can even put the enemies on the back foot by jumping, a couple feet away from them. And next thing they know is, you've got cover. And if you use it well, you're going to be knocking them down. The way that it's built gives you peeking options on different sides, meaning that you can keep yourself covered from two enemies firing at you and take out the one you've got an angle on. It saves my skin a couple of times, and I'm not going to slag him off as a character, but for me, his tactical ain't that useful, but definitely with his passive and ultimate, he's a force to be reckoned with. I've not seen many people pulling off brilliant plays with him, but it's early days. By the end of this season, I think he might be my most played. But, well, he probably will, because I've just got him for the early part. But whether I go back to, maining Ash and Maggie, or whether I, stick at him, learn his movesets and how to utilise him, I can't tell yet. But, yeah, in the right hands, he's definitely going to be brilliant. I just need to work on my playstyle. I think every other Apex player who has him so far is going to do the same. But not a lot of people have got him so far. So no one's really bought him. So as powerful as he may seem, I don't think his pick rate is going to be ridiculously high. I mean, I've come across him at least in every game as an enemy. But this is the first day. People will probably unlock him as soon as they've got enough. If they're not going to spend money on the game, they won't have him now. I was just lucky that I had enough to buy him as soon as it dropped. I mean, I completed the battle pass and I had a few spare coins, so even if I didn't, I'd have had him on day one. But yeah, it is awesome. It's just cooler that it's Bangalore's brother. I called that. But it doesn't seem like he actually told her, which is strange. But yeah, adds a new depth to the story, and yeah, I don't know what to say. It's pretty impressive though. The only problem is his hitbox seems to be huge. I keep getting hit round what I thought were corners, and I've probably had my thick ass sticking out. So I can't really tell whether that's just me being a bot with my positioning or what. But no, he does seem good. He also has the fortified passive ability as well, just like Gibraltar and Caustic. Is there anyone else who's got fortified? I don't think so. But yeah, it means that he can tank a few extra shots, but his hitbox also huge, so you're going to need that. But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning into the video. You nutters have a good day. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And if you've liked this video, please like and subscribe.